Hey everybody, Bob Doyle here. We're going to start in just a minute. I just want to make sure everything is up and running and that we are broadcasting live properly, and then we will absolutely get started. So just thank you for being here. There's a delay from what I'm saying now and what you will actually see. So I'm giving that the opportunity to go through, and then we'll officially start. So just stand by, and thanks for being here. Okay, welcome everyone to the Mastermind Hangout preview experience. I am Bob Doyle, and I'm about to show myself. One moment here. Okay, thanks so much for being here on the very first Mastermind Hangout preview experience, and this is going to give you an opportunity to get a firsthand experience. You're going to actually get to touch the Mastermind Hangout experience with me and the other participants here, and I see the room is filled with people, so that's awesome. So we've got some people to play with. So I've got somewhere in this, I've got screens all over the place because I am, of course, being my own technician too. So I've got my little notes here, so I want to be able to walk us through what this call is about, how it's going to work, how you can participate, and all the action you're going to take. So first of all, I am Bob Doyle. I'm one of the featured teachers in the film The Secret, and I've been helping people in one way or the other to solidify, crystallize their vision, and then move into it, mostly using law of attraction principles. That's what I'm chiefly known for from my work in The Secret and all of that, and my Wealth Beyond Reason program and other programs around using law of attraction principles to create your life by design. But I started doing these Hangouts at the beginning of this year because I realized that what people are really needing now, more than just programs, which are great for the foundational education and exercises and things to do, if you will actually do them, of course. But what people are really needing now is some accountability, right? They need to be moved into action. And so most of my attention has been placed now on personal coaching through either one-on-one type of things or group coaching type of environments or these masterminds. And so I'm making a couple of assumptions because you're here. In the invitation to this, I was telling you that it is an opportunity to preview this mastermind, which is clearly something that you wouldn't be here if you, I don't think, unless you just like to watch me talk, which, well, who wouldn't, right? I'm assuming that you either have a vision of something you'd like to do, whether it's in business or personal or whatever, that you could use, or you suspect that you might be able to use the mastermind environment to move yourself further, or you're not clear on your vision and you would like some support in that, which is also another great way that the mastermind hangout is used. So I'm also assuming that you understand, of course, that there is an investment in the mastermind itself, and this preview is here to give you a free experience of it. But of course, it's not the full experience. I'm going to talk in just a minute about what you can really expect from the mastermind itself, everything that's included, so you understand what it's like. And then we're going to get into bringing you on to the call and actually giving you that opportunity. And in fact, what I'm going to do right now is, if you're on this webinar page, which of course you are, I'm going to make a button appear that will allow you to, if I can find the right screen, hold on a second, I'm so sorry, there's just too many windows here. That's going to allow you to join the session. So watch your screen right now, and something is going to display that says, join us live now, click below and accept all the screens that appear. So what this will do is, when you click on the Get Started button there, you're going to be prompted to go through all the setup for joining this particular Hangout. And what you might need to do is actually shut the sound off for the window that you're looking at now once this happens, because it's going to open up a new window, and you'll need to have your webcam on and your headset on and all of that, and then you'll appear in my little room here, and then when I'm ready, we'll start the experience. And I'm going to take as many people, I want to give as many of you attending a taste of the experience as possible in the next 60 to 90 minutes or so, depending on how much time we have. I want to give you enough time so that you really get a flavor for what would be possible if you were in one of just 6 or 7 people, and we had a full 3 hours to really dig into what you're up to along with the other things. So you can be going ahead, and if you know you want to participate, click the Get Started button, and we'll get you in the queue here, and then I will go to you as soon as we're ready to do that. So now let me go back to my notes. All right. So what? So what I was saying was that obviously the Mastermind is an investment, but part of the deal of being here today is that you will save $197 if you decide to sign up today. And I've also got another incentive for you that I did not announce that I'll tell you about in just a minute. So first of all, what really is a mastermind, and what is the benefit of doing one? Now, I won't go into 20 minutes here on what a mastermind is, but basically it's a collection of people, a collection of minds, a collection of experience, right, and knowledge all come together where we're all, in this case, supporting one another to elevate each other to the next, to whatever's next for you. Because when we work on our vision alone, if we're just going with our own experience and our own knowledge, we'll only get so far. We're either going to have to, go study and learn or take classes or avail ourselves of new knowledge in other ways, or we're going to have to tap into the experience of other people. And the beauty of this mastermind is that all of these people who come together in these things are up to something or want to be. With every session we've had, there's been 1 or 2 people who aren't clear, who are really trying to get that vision gelled. And when we dig into, what do they enjoy, what do they think their passions are, then the group picks up on sort of the energy that's there and starts offering suggestions. And invariably, those people have an aha moment and are able to now move forward towards a vision that they weren't even able to make before, which is the most important step, obviously. In any kind of law of attraction type of exercise, you have to know what you're going for. But so many people wander around staying in a job they don't like or a relationship they don't like or whatever because they don't have a vision for what's next. And so if all you got from the mastermind was that, it would be huge. But if you do come into the mastermind with a vision, and now we all get to contribute to you, our ideas and things and different resources that we have, people that you should talk to, that's what we're doing. So obviously it can catapult you towards the realization of your vision when you have that type of support system when it's ongoing, which ours is. So I'm going to tell you exactly what this is. The Mastermind program is comprised of, first of all, a 3-hour online mastermind call, which is what we're going to emulate here and do a short version of. It's via Google Hangout, and then everybody's in the room. We have 6 to 7 people in this virtual room here, and each person gets an opportunity to share what they're up to so that other people can contribute to them. And that's basically the format which we're going to go through on this call. You also, as a part of the mastermind, have access to either our Wealth Beyond Reason program or our Reinvention Success System, which is what you see here. And each of these programs is actually valued at over $1,000 each, and I'm going to give you a glimpse of these programs here shortly when I talk about it a little bit more. And also keep in mind that as we go through this, that the next 3 dates for the masterminds are May 21st, June 21st, and July 16th. Now, that doesn't mean if you act on this today, because we only have room for 6 to 7 people in each one, and so if it's full, then we'll just work with you on finding another date. So don't get too hung up on the dates, but just to let you know that those are the dates that we have planned, and if you were to jump on those would be the dates that you would be started from. So again, if you want to actually be a part of this mastermind experience right now and get a taste of it, you got to click on the Get Started button that's over there on your lower right hand side of the screen and go through the prompts to get to join this Google Hangout. Now, if you're having problems with that, if it's not working, please let us know. There is also a chat window there. You can click the chat tab and communicate with me that way. Okay, so let's see what else. Back to the notes. One moment. Oh, they vanished. Here we go. So, and then you also have access to a private Facebook community, which is where the conversation continues. So we have our original time together on the 3-hour call. Everybody then learns what you're up to. We start the basic contribution and we get some actions, get some momentum going. But then the conversations and the connections all continue in this private Facebook group, which is comprised of everyone who's ever done the mastermind before. So not only do you get to tap into the resources of the people who you were on the call with, but all the people who have done the calls previously and have made strides in what they're doing. So they've got a whole nother level of experience and education and resources and connections to share with you by the time you come in there. And then a few weeks after that, the call, I will do another private 30-minute one-on-one conversation with you just to see how you're doing, making sure that you're still in action, just to support you so that you keep going. And if there's any stops, what can we do to support you? And if there's any other way that we should continue to work together on any level. So that's what that's about. So it's not just the 3-hour call, it's also the ongoing support in the private Facebook group and then a one-on-one session afterward, plus anything that you're learning and have access to in those 2 programs that we were talking about. So now I'm looking here and I'm hoping there's not a problem because there's nobody yet who has clicked to join in here. And if you're trying and it's not working, I definitely need to know that. So if you go to the chat window and just type in, I'm trying and it's not working, or I'm just here to learn something, I need to get some feedback here so that I know that, we're either going to do this or not. And look, if you don't want to participate, but I know that I heard from some of you that you were definitely looking forward to it. Okay, so it's saying you are the only participant, invite friends. So that might mean that I've got a bad link. So if you just bear with me, and we'll just be real transparent here because I absolutely want to get this fixed for you. So let's see what I can do here and see if I can make this work for you. One moment. I appreciate your patience on this because I definitely want to serve you. And if it's causing that, it's probably trying to go to an old thing, and I just need to update the link on that button, which I will do right now. If you just bear with me here. Thank you so much. Dun, 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 dun. You didn't know you were going to get music and entertainment too, did you? All right, here we go. One moment. Yes, it is a different button, so that's the problem there. Now, what I'm hoping is if I turn this off and on again, it will update, but I don't know. Let's see. Remove. Display. No, it's still the old one. So here's what I'm going to do. Go to the chat window. Everyone go to the chat window. I'm going to paste that in. This is the link to join. In fact, what I'm going to do is create it as a sticky up at the top. So there, that link up there, if you click on the link that I just put in the chat window up at the top, that should open up the window. And what I would also ask you to do, I know I'm asking you to do a lot technically here because this didn't work properly. If you click the control key when you do that, it'll open up in a new window because I'm thinking that if you click that, it's going to try and open up in that little sidebar there, and that's going to kind of screw you up. So if that happens, please let me know. I appreciate the feedback as we go through this. And while I'm waiting for people to join or see how that works, I'm going to go back to the notes and keep going here. Okay, so the whole thing about the mastermind is about sharing these resources and connections and all of your inspired ideas. And what you need to know is that it doesn't matter if you feel inexperienced, like you don't feel like you're going to bring a lot to the table, because that's a concern. People are saying, well, I just started out, I don't have any, I don't have anything to share along those lines. But what I'm saying to you is, yes, you do. Because even the people who have showed up with no ideas whatsoever, they're a human being, right? And they're listening to your idea and then giving you honest feedback. And so I've had a lot of people have some really great aha moments based on the feedback of people who thought they would have nothing to bring to the table. So just never ever underestimate what you have to do there, or what you can bring to the table. Now, what I want to do today, if we can get people into this queue, and if we just can't do it, then we just can't do it, and I'll figure it out and we can either reschedule, but I want to give you at least the gist of things here, is I want to give, when we do the Mastermind Hangout for real, everybody has 5 to 10 minutes to share everything they're up to. They can show us pictures, they can talk about whatever, they can tell us the backstory, just everything they can to really fully communicate, here's what I'm up to and here's how I can use support. Then each member who's there contributes back to that person. We go down that list, and then we make sure everybody's complete, and then we move to the next person who then shares their stuff, and we go down the list. So everybody gets contributed to, and everybody does contributing. And then, normally at that point, we'll take a break, because it's about 90 minutes in when that happens, and then we'll come back, and then we just see, everybody's had a chance to kind of think about it, have some other questions, ideas, and it becomes sort of a round robin, and we just keep contributing, and most people walk away with several pages of notes of actionable items to do. And then they go into the Facebook group, where I ask everybody to give an introduction of themselves, provide any links. You see what I'm saying here? This is an opportunity for you to share everything you're up to in an environment where people are actually wanting to hear. They want to know what you're up to. They want to see your links. They want to get ideas from you, right? You're all inspiring each other. Okay. I want to make sure we've got, okay, we do have a couple of people in the mastermind thing. I would love to get at least a couple more before we do it. So again, if you go to the chat, if you want to participate and you go to the chat window, up at the top of the chat window, there is a link. Now I'm just being told that you're getting a thing. I'm getting. It says the party is over. I don't know if you're using the old link that was there with the Get Started button. In fact, I should take that out of there because that is obviously not working.
Mante, mi porta la carica batteria.
Okay, so we've definitely got somebody joining us here, so I'm going to have to mute. Just 1 second here. All right. And now I've lost my camera. So the games continue. All right, hold on just 1 moment. There we go, I'm back. Okay, so if we can get a couple of other people in the room by clicking the link at the top of the chat, that would be great. So let me, while we're waiting for that, because I do want it to be a mastermind experience, so if we can get at least 4 people in there, that'd be fantastic, and we've got enough people to do that. Let me just kind of go over again what we're doing for this call, for those of you who see the value of joining the mastermind. And this is, again, be asking yourself what kind, if you have a vision and you know that you're kind of stuck, you haven't gotten a lot of progress, what is it that's stopping you? Is it because you don't know what to do next? Is it because you don't know the right people? Is it because you just don't plain have the resources or the ability to implement some of the things that you want to do? Well, that's why you join a mastermind, because it's through that. Remember, it's not just the people who are in their mastermind, it's all the people they know too. So you expand your reach tremendously when you do this. So what we're doing for the people in this call who are deciding to make the commitment to join one of the masterminds in the next 3 months or even beyond. Again, we don't need to get hung up on the dates because we can work you in whenever. First of all, we're taking $197 off the investment in the mastermind. If you go to the page, you'll see it's $697, which if you shop around masterminds, you'll find that people who are giving this level of service and this level of ongoing support are charging sometimes tens of thousands of dollars for these types of things because of the impact it can have on a person if they take action on this. So $697 is an awesome deal. We have promo code there you can see is MASTER. So if you were to click the sign up today button and go and fill out, and on the order form put in that code for on the order form MASTER, you'll get $197 off. And the other thing that I'm doing today is I told you that each participant also gets access to one of our programs, either the Wealth Beyond Reason program or the Reinvention Success System program. And I just kind of want to show you now the Wealth Beyond Reason program is, and each of these programs are valued at over $1,000 each. So right away you're saving money, and the reason that I've been doing this is because I want people to have the personal experience. I want them to have that level of accountability. So it's much more important for me to do programs that are around interacting with you, whether it's through this or one-on-one coaching, than it is just to get another program in your hands. Having said that, the Wealth Beyond Reason program has been our Law of Attraction sort of flagship product for over 12 years, and it digs deep, deep into the law of attraction and how it works, and it's made up a series of modules that you go through in a logical way. So obviously there's a welcome, and then we get into the law of attraction and resistance, and each module has a video, a training video with it, and a series of exercises, and supplementary audio and or video, interviews with experts, all on just that one topic. And so for every module we have those topics. So it's a very, very complete system. And of course now all of a sudden I'm having a browser issue where the plugin is crashing. Here we go. And then there's the reinvention success system, which is all about taking from where, if you're at a point in your life where you're going, you know, I know there's something more, I've disconnected from my sense of passion, this isn't feeling right. What do I do to change that? What do I do to create something new? There's the reinvention success system that digs into all of that. Yes, there's law of attraction and resistance stuff built in there too, but lots of meditations, and we'll go through this again before this is over, and and access to our entire Follow Your Passion, Find Your Power webinar, which is all about just that. If you feel disconnected from your sense of passion, getting reconnected to it, and being able to create a vision with something that you're really passionate about. And then, of course, access to the Mastermind Hangout, which is where all the previous members are hanging out and sharing ideas and continuing what's going on with them. All right, so we've got a few people, a few more people in the chat room here. So I just want to give one more chance for you to do this, because there are people who I know said I'm coming to do that who have not popped in here yet. If you click the chat tab on the page that you're looking at, up at the top, the sticky message is the link that you need. Okay, so it should say admin notice, and then there's a link, and then that will walk you through the process of joining the actual Hangout. Okay, so again, now this time, because we want to do all this before, within 60 to 90 minutes. Whoa, got a lot of noise here. Hold on just one second. I need to mute some people. Within 60 to 90 minutes, rather, what we'll do here is we'll go down each person, and you'll just have a couple of minutes. Okay, it can't be protracted because we want to be able to have the whole experience, but condensed. A couple of minutes to say, this is what your name, obviously, and what you're up to, or where you're stuck, or how you could use support. So we want you to be as concise as possible, so that we have, but be very clear where you need the support, so that the other people in the room can actually, support you intelligently and give you some feedback. Okay, so that's the idea of what we're going to do here. I want to do just a couple of so I'm just looking at the chat window again. If it's saying the Google link wants you to log in. If you can't remember your Google account name or password, yeah, I'm sorry, you do need to be able to do that. So you might want to just do a lost my password or something like that to get that recovered, and then come back and click that link again, and then you can join it, and we'll get started on this. Right now we have 4 people in the room that we can begin to work with, but I would sure love 1 or 2 more. But in any case, you can watch this now and get an idea for how it's working. So here we go. Let's just play with this now. Now I have muted a couple of you because there was some background noises. So if I bring you on, let's make sure that you are unmuted. In fact, I need to turn on this one little thing so I can select you. Make sure that you are unmuted so that we can actually hear you. I'm gonna start over here with Jim. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Bob. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, and I see half of your face. There's the other half.
First time I'm doing this, so forgive me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I understand. So, Jim, now Jim and I know each other. I've known Jim for a couple of years now, so it's great to have you here. So, what we want to do now is hear from you about what you're up to, how you could use some support in general, and then we'll go through everybody else, and we'll get that kind of feedback. And I will start. I generally start and give you a couple of minutes, and then we just move on. Okay?
Sounds great.
Okay.
So I've attracted to myself a marvelous opportunity. I'm going to be going to Spain for a month to lecture on sleight of hand magic that I've created. And this is a fantastic opportunity. The only downside is that it's in November. And so I now basically have to find something to sustain myself between now and then, and also type up my lecture notes and create a magic effect for sale. So I'm trying to figure out what to do in between now and then. Previously, we had discussed making a website for magicians to hopefully revitalize their passion, and I think I've gotten a good start on that, but I seem to be stuck because I don't know how to monetize it. I don't know how to reach out and find an audience. I don't have confidence in myself to do it because I've never done it before, and that seems to be a big sticking point. Other things that I'm doing right now that I seem to have a vibrant passion for but are not bringing in income, which that's the real challenge between now and November, is writing a science fiction novel and also writing stand-up comedy. I'm going to a stand-up comedy group once a month and doing some of the stand-up that I've written, which is good, but it's zero income. And the science fiction writing, I'm going to a group every Saturday morning, and I'm writing well when I do it, but again, zero income. So in a sense, that's where I'm at right now.
Okay, great. So in terms of all those things that you threw out there, I think it's great that you're doing the writing and both for the comedy and science fiction. And if you can just do that for the love of it right now, then that's great. So you just want to be sure that you're scheduling it, whatever you have to do to keep doing it until it can become an income generator for you, or you get inspired in a way that it can become that. The lowest hanging fruit here is sort of that blog that we talked about. What you've got a lot of knowledge, and this is true for anybody listening on this call. You've probably got a lot more knowledge and ability to contribute value than you give yourself credit for. I'm not just saying this to you, Jim. I'm saying this to people in general. They take for granted what they know and don't understand how they could be marketable. But it's all marketable, and it's all an opportunity for you to share your angle on things. And so in your case, Jim, it's your take on magic and close-up magic and the things that you have uniquely brought. Now, in terms of the confidence issue, that is something that we could work on over time, in the mastermind, and that's going to come from you, being bold enough to share, what you have done and allow critique, allow people to give you feedback. It doesn't have, and being unattached to like too much emotion around it, because we as creative people sometimes do not like constructive criticism, even if it's meant, well. But if you know that if you know that there are places where you're not as strong, then that's when you can open yourself up to that contribution. But you do have to take that leap and say, all right, I'm going to share this even though I don't know that I'm ready or have the confidence. The whole idea of you don't know how to market it yet is another reason to come into a group like this, because we all have different ideas. And now I'm not going to say that everybody in the mastermind is going to have marketing experience, because they're not. But generally speaking, 2 or 3 of us definitely do, and can give you ideas. And it's not that you're going to take the specific idea, but it can spark something in you. I know that for you, I personally have all sorts of ideas, as we've talked about before. All sorts of ways that you can use video and different things. And then in terms of marketing it, using social networking, using YouTube, and strategically crafted videos with the right keywords and things like that, because magic is it's a very popular YouTube subject, as you and I both know, and we both have very strong feelings about some of the stuff that is out there in terms of YouTube content, but you need to just put yourself into the mix so that you're found and bring people eventually back to your blog or your site or whatever you're going to do. Again, I'm speaking to Jim about magic, but I want everybody on this call who's listening to think about themselves in this and like, okay, well, what's my topic and how could I expand on that? There's so many different ways to put your level, whatever your level of expertise is, to make a difference out there and have impact. So Jim, any feedback on that so far?
Yes. Well, I think today is also a great example, just seeing what you're doing here with the Hangouts and with, what is it, the Web Jam, or Webinar Jam?
Webinar Jam. Mm-hmm.
That's inspirational in and of itself, because this is certainly, it's given me some more focus as to what I could put onto the website. In terms of where I'm at with that website, I've registered a domain, which is really good. I have WordPress set up. I have various plugins for WordPress set up. So I think really what I need to focus on right now is getting content put in and getting the membership section set up so that people actually have a way of paying me to go into that website. So I've got steps there. I just need to focus on that, I think.
Right, and so one of the great things about being a part of the mastermind group in general is that you would basically share, okay, this is what I need to do. help me be accountable. You know, like I commit to doing this by this week, and then we all check in with you and say, did you do it? I mean, there's just nothing like that level of accountability when you're in a group of people who are also needing that same kind of accountability from you. So it's a whole different energy than going at it alone. So I want to go to Diane. Now, Diane, we don't see you, but can you hear me?
Hello.
Hey, Diane. So do you have a camera or no?
No, I'm hooked to this particular computer. I have 3 computers. I happen to be on the one that doesn't have the webcam.
Okay, so Diane, now what we want to do now is get your feedback on what Jim said. Now again, I know we didn't go 10 minutes, and I know that you probably don't have minutes to do, but just initial, we just want to give everybody an idea of what this is kind of like. So your initial feedback, ideas, impressions, questions, anything like that for Jim.
Well, I admire his audacity for going forward with this. This is amazing, and it's a wonderful idea. And I really liked your suggestion about the low-hanging fruit, is to just pick this something that he can monetize that is the low-hanging fruit, develop that, and then move on to the next thing.
Right, and I know, Jim, you're wondering how do I monetize it, and that's something we could brainstorm too, is about like, well, what are all your assets, you know, knowledge and so on, and things you've written or videos that you'd be willing to do, anything like that to figure out a way to monetize things. So, Diane, thank you very much for that. Let's go over to Brenda. Brenda, you are muted, I see. If you can unmute yourself. You don't want to contribute? You're just here to say hi. Okay. Okay, well, all right, that's fine. So I'm going to go over to Matteo, but it's not, there we go. Whoop. Let's see if it'll switch this. Hi there.
Yes, hi. It's actually Natalia.
Okay, Natalia.
Another computer.
Okay. Well, thank you. Welcome thank you for being here. So, how about some feedback for Jim?
I just have some ideas about his Spanish adventure. It's like maybe he can translate his website in Spanish, and in the meantime, find some Spanish connections to do some work there. Like he can use this time for exploring the possibilities that he can find in Spain.
As a magician, you mean? Or sharing magic?
Yes, like just not do all the work only in English, but maybe find some possibilities to do it in Spain, being translated or something. But you know, to use this time before he's going there, to see what else can be done when he's in Spain.
Okay, so just basically thinking outside the box there, and like, well, how if I'm creating content, you could also be thinking about how can I reach an even bigger audience, and that's actually a great idea, because then you duplicate, you know, you expand your reach if that's something that you'd be willing to do, and if that's anything. So even if it's not Spain, that idea of thinking outside the box and how can I reach more people is the kind of seed in these types of conversations that you want to pay attention to. So thank you, Natalia. So, Brenda, I'm looking at you down there. Now, are you wanting to say anything or not? Do you have something to say? Okay, so go ahead and if you can unmute so we can hear you. But you're still muted.
Click on the mute symbol
on
your screen.
Up on the top of your screen, there's a microphone that's probably muted, and you click on that.
Okay.
There we go. Now we can hear you. So what feedback do you have for Jim?
No, for Jim, no, for Natalia. Because I didn't hear all the stuff that he told, because I just did enter. I didn't hear all. If you want me to unmute, I don't mind, but I want to tell Natalia that I think about what she's thinking, but I'm out of the box. Also, I want to bring this to Argentina in Spanish, but we have to take patience from you in order to take all your stuff in Spanish.
Yeah. Okay. So all right. So let's just take. So I wish. Oh, let me just say this. Again, I want to invite you who are here to join this conference room right now, because now you're hearing it. If we had 2 or 3 more people in here, we'd have It's exponential. That's the point. The more people we get in the mastermind, the more exponential the contribution that you can give and receive when you're in here. So to get an idea of what this is really like, it'd be great if you, instead of just watching, would actually come in here and share what you're up to. That'd be awesome, because I see you there. Here we go. Now we've got John who joined the call. Yes, Diane?
Could I ask Jim a question?
Sure, yes.
Yeah, Jim, are you promoting yourself on Facebook yet? Do you have anything in social media going on for your endeavors?
No. Right now, my main challenge is getting the website to a point where I feel that there's something worth paying for. So right now I have the structure, I have the form, I just have to put content in, and then I could start making a Facebook page, making a Twitter account, doing the social media interactions. I don't have that prepared yet. Right now it's very much steps. Like the concept of translating items into Spanish would be an excellent idea, but I need content to translate first. So my steps where I'd want to be accountable is getting content into that website before I do anything else.
And
okay, well, I just wanted to input there that Facebook is something that's very easy to start without a lot of content, and you can connect with people and pre-announce your book. And also, you can have another Facebook page for your magic things and put neat stuff about magic on it. And again, you can just do a little bit of content at a time. You don't need a whole lot to start out with.
Yeah, that's really great feedback, actually, Jim. Because if especially since you were candid enough to say that that there's areas that you lack confidence, then you set yourself up for being one of those people who never feels ready. You know what I mean? It's like it's not quite done. The website's not quite perfect, and so that's why if you were to share it within a group, we could say, look, it may not be exactly perfect, but the content is there. It's probably more ready than you think. And you just need to have that little push. And like she said, Facebook and things, that's a really safe, easy way to just start trying out content and sharing it out there and just seeing what kind of feedback you get. It's a great testing ground as well. So I like that idea. I want to welcome John. Hey, John, how are you? Confidence.
I'm doing well, I think.
You set yourself up. So I need you. You know what I mean? It's like we need to mute the website's not quite the original window that you had. To share it, we're hearing the look.
Here's the original
It may
window.
not be exactly perfect, but the content. There we go. There, it's probably more ready than you think, and you just need to have that little push. And like she said, I'm gonna mute you for now, John. Let me just. I think he hung himself up. So the idea is when you open up this other window to be a part of this, you got to kind of close down the original webinar window so that we don't hear the feedback or turn down your volume or something like that. But I would have loved for John to come in here. So now I want to move on then to Diane and have her share what she's up to, and then we'll do the whole cycle again. Okay, so Diane, you are on.
Okay, I have a former career as a software engineer. I say former because I've recently been through a lot of personal things, without going into too much detail, and it entailed, do I want to go back to the engineering thing or do I want to start something new? And so I decided to start something new, and that is to do life coaching and energy healing. I've been doing energy healing since 2009, and I've had all the appropriate classes. I have CEOs in it and everything, and I've done some work in both coaching and healing for friends and family, and it's gone pretty well. I've done some public free healing on Facebook. So right now I'm just at the beginning throes of turning that into a business, which is part of the reason why I'm here, is just to listen to a lot of different people to get an idea, to just get myself going and start doing some things, and eventually hiring a coach myself.
So Diane, how clear is your vision of what that business would look like, of you stepping into that role?
Okay, well, I look at the energy healing as my low-hanging fruit because I'm have the service. It's ready to go. I have all my protocols. So it's just a matter of finding the clients who would like that sort of thing. I have, and from just listening to a bunch of other people, I've been told or heard that I need to start with maybe something small like a niche. So I thought, well, ADHD is a big thing, so why don't I target ADHD people? There's a lot of good stuff on that on the web and on the internet, and maybe do that first. But I also have I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that, whatever it is that you do, whatever niche you go down, make sure it is something that you're really, truly passionate about,
Right.
and that there's a demand for. But you want to be able to really, I think it's very smart that you are lasering in on something, because then you get to talk about because there's a lot of energy healers out there right now, and if they just do the shotgun approach, I'll heal anything. Well, then what's the differentiator between them and all these other people? So
Well,
if
no,
you can,
I actually chose ADHD because my brother had it, and you feel kind of helpless when somebody has something that you really can't do much about, and you don't feel like the medical community is sufficiently knowledgeable to really help, because the medicines they give just, I don't know, it's like you lose part of the real person there.
right.
And by using an energy healing approach, you get the real person that's there. Plus, they feel better, and in some cases, they can even get off medication, because there's not only an energy healing protocol, but also there's a series of exercises that the person can do to improve their mental state.
Right. So clearly you have a lot of passion for this, and you have a life experience associated with it. So that, I think, is a very smart thing for you to laser in on. And so then my next question for you, and certainly what we would be pursuing long form in the mastermind, is what are you doing to market yourself?
Well, I've done the opposite of Jim here. I actually have a small Facebook following. So I've been actually concentrating on social media first, and I actually don't really have a website yet. So I guess I would need to develop the website also and integrate the, the Facebook and the Twitter and that sort of thing into the website to market myself. And I really like the idea also of joint ventures, and maybe at some point having my own teleseminar and doing something like that.
Right, fantastic. So just kind of what would be helpful for you is to have some help mapping out a long-term strategy, sort of a funnel, if you will. Like, well, I can bring them in through my Facebook page, and how are you? We would talk about what are you doing to cultivate the relationship with the Facebook page. Clearly, if you don't have a website yet, you're not doing opt-ins. So how could we move your Facebook following into somebody that you could put on an email list so that you could continue to cultivate the relationship and send them various offerings, teleseminars, and things like that that are low cost and easy to put together to basically monetize you in this niche quickly. If you've got a following already, then these are people who know, like, and trust you, and you just want to be able to give them a new level of service. And so you would just need some conversation around strategy, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sounds about
great.
right.
So that's definitely what we would approach in the mastermind thing here. And I would, like, right now, I've already, my feedback for you right now is to be thinking about how you can take that Facebook following and then turn it into something else, and decide what those things are. Did you want to write a book? Do you want to speak? The group coaching, all of those things. Like, let's prioritize what's most important to you and create that long-term vision of what your career looks and feels like, and then sort of work backwards to see what would have to get done. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so John, I want to welcome you back now. Now, did you heard at the beginning kind of how this works? Somebody shares what they're up to, and then we go through the group, and you get some feedback back, and like that, right?
A little bit, yes. And I'm mostly here to see how it works.
Okay, great.
Right now, I've been digging myself out of a financial mess from a now closed business, and it's coming together different ways than I ever thought it would. And I have one of your programs from a while ago. I can't remember what it is. It's helped, but this is just pretty cool, and I can't do anything with it right now because if I take anything else on, I will explode.
Well, we don't want you to explode.
No.
So, but to get into the spirit of this mastermind here. Now, you listened to Diane and you heard about what she was saying. Do you have any feedback for her? Any kind of just thoughts? Anything along the lines of what could contribute to her?
No, and you know what? I apologize. I heard voices and I heard things, people talking, but I was focusing on other things at the time.
Okay.
On the side, which it happens in the Twilight Zone a lot. So.
Okay, well, just hang in there and stay with us here, and then you'll hear how it's working.
Okay.
So, Natalia, how about you?
Well, I thought she might do a landing page, just a simple one-page to take some emails, and then to do some blogging with her existing friends on Facebook or Twitter. Like maybe just to have a communication plan. do some blogging once a week or once in 2 weeks. Well, to find the best suitable way for her to keep in contact. And then, like you said, maybe a book will come out of it or something else. But just to cultivate her connection with existing clients and then try to, to bring more people in. That's
Yeah. So I mean, that seems like it's probably what does that sound like to you, Diane? Diane, you there? Oh.
Yeah, I'm here. Actually, I'm sorry. I had to step out for a second because odd things were happening in other rooms, so I had to step out a minute. So I'm very sorry, but I missed part of the thing. So
Well, Natalia was basically just saying that, basically what we had echoed, that even just a simple landing page that you could start sending people to, maybe from your Facebook site, give them something to opt in for, and it's just a continuation of the cultivation of that relationship. That definitely sounds like the next step. So we would just want to strategize what those things might be that you offer. So Jim, you dropped off a little bit there. Were you able to hear what Diane was up to?
Just a little bit. I just heard your recap. Yes, a landing page would be very smart. From what I understand, one of the most important things to do when building a audience is to start your mailing list. Almost everyone who says that, if there was one mistake you could correct in your past when you were starting your business on the web, what could you do? What would you do better? And they always say, I want to have my mailing list started 3 years earlier, or however early they started. Start gathering email addresses early, and using something like landing pages to offer them a free healing consultation or a free, let's say, PDF on recommendations for your practice. Give them that for free in exchange for them to subscribe to your mailing list. And then, of course, after you start that mailing list, you then have to plan regular mailings to keep in contact, to maintain that connection that you make with your potential clients. So I think that's probably a great first goal, because you can throw together a mailing list form in a matter of minutes or hours.
Right, and so that would just be a decision. Again, the more strategy we can come up with on the front end, the better, because so now the offerings that you give them for free are an intelligent piece of cultivating the relationship that you eventually want. But it's all going to come down to creating that vision first, so that you know exactly where you want to go. I hear the passion for what you want to do. Now we just design, well, what does it look and feel like more specifically? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Brenda, I see you over there again. I'm not sure if you're wanting to just hang and listen, or if you're wanting to contribute. Okay, she's not going to contribute. That's fine. All right, so let's go on to Natalia, and let her share what she's up to, and we'll just kind of continue this process.
Yes, I'm in the process of creating a new vision, because I'm kind of I'm feeling lately that I'm not any more passionate about anything. Just I've tried a lot of things, and I'm in my third business right now, and I'm about to close it because I'm kind of losing when I can be done. I just don't want to do it anymore, and I would like to find something really exciting and really interesting that I can realize. So just don't really know what to. I don't have any vision. That's the problem.
Okay, great. So you would be the one in the mastermind who is struggling with their vision. And so here's what I would want to do is, like, tell me the nature of the businesses that you have undergone. Tell me why you got into them in the first place. What we're trying to do is find some core values for you, right? Like, what is the contribution that your heart really wants to make? And why do you think that it's not happening? Or, how can we help you to get past this idea that you don't have a vision, and really just start to play with one, even if it's not like the ultimate vision that you're going to end up with. We just want to start playing with, well, how could things be different? What is it, for example, now are you telling me that you feel disconnected from a sense of passion right now?
Yeah, I mean, like, nothing interests me anymore, and things that used to be interesting, they're just like okay, like neutral. I used
Can you
to
give
have, Yeah.
Can you give me an example of something that used to be interesting to you that has somehow now gotten neutralized?
Okay, yeah, I had my first business was about flower design and about interior design. So I
Okay.
had a flower shop and I used to create some spaces in private homes and in some commercial spaces also. And then the second one was the theater company. We used to have some performances for 2 years or something like that. Then we burned out. And the last one is about translating and contracting, translating things from Italian to English or Russian to English Italian because I'm a Russian originally. So yeah, and there are three of them. They're very different, and I don't feel passionate about any of it anymore. And my big disappointment actually it was about losing interest in acting also. I mean, I thought I would love it for a long time, but it was like 2 or 3 years, and I'm just not interested anymore.
Okay,
So,
so I'll start to do this, but we would need more time. What is it that why do you feel like you lost interest? Because here's the thing, you said there were three very different things, and actually two out of three of them are very similar in the fact that they're very creative in nature. You know, they're about you expressing some creativity. The contract or the translating stuff feels the most different of all of them, but but theater and then the other stuff. I mean, that all seemed, very like you want to express yourself creatively. When you were acting, did you have an incident or something that started to take the fun out of it for you? Was there something specific that happened?
oh, not really. I can't. I mean, maybe it will come up later, but right now I don't really remember. It just, yeah, it happened actually. My acting coach told me that I can do that, and it's like maybe it was trying to prove to people that I can do that. And when someone is telling me, someone as important as he was, told me that I really can do this, I lost the interest.
Okay.
You know what I'm coming up with? It's probably I used to prove myself to others, like like I wanted to approval, and I
Right.
just really wanted to show people that I can do that. And then when someone said, "Okay, you can do that," I just kind of, okay, what for?
So you're saying they're telling you you cannot do it, correct?
No, they tell me you can do this, but
They're saying you
yeah,
can do it, and that's
yes,
that's taking the wind out of your sails?
yes, that's it.
Interesting. Here's one of the nice things, one of the differentiators around working in a mastermind like this is because we do bring law of attraction and resistance principles into it. Okay, it's not all just strategy and tactical things. It's a lot of the inner game too, because that's my background. So there's definitely a phenomenon that's happening here inside you when someone is telling you you can do it. You have a shift. There's some sort of strange sort of programming that has you lose interest. But I would submit that that's about something else, and that we could probably, with a little exploration, find out why that's happening, so that it doesn't necessarily have to. Because you're telling me that you were disappointed that your excitement about acting went away. Well, that tells me that you wish that it hadn't. So there might still be something in there. In general, about creatively expressing yourself, that just needs a little tweaking. It's a belief system or something. Somebody said something to you at some time and it had an impact or something. So you've got this program running that as you go towards your dreams, if somebody says you can do it, now you suddenly don't want to. Is that sort of the broad stroke way to describe it?
Yes, because it feels like boring or something. It's like if I can do it, so what for? It's like when someone is telling me that's impossible, I want to prove that I can do it. But
But if they
no,
tell you
it's
can do it, then you go, oh, well, I need to come up
yeah,
with something that's impossible.
yeah, that's
Okay,
it.
so there's a reason that you're operating that way. And to the extent that it isn't serving you, I mean, I think there's probably some way that it is serving you. That's why it's in operation. But it's not serving you if you feel disconnected from your sense of passion and have no vision. So we would definitely want to work on that. I'm going to move through and start letting other people give you some feedback, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, hold on. Let's go to Diane first. Diane.
Yes, it's true. I always have an opinion.
Good. That's what you're here for.
Well, when I'm feeling lost, what I do is go meditate. And when I've calmed myself down and I can center up and get communication with spirit going, I ask, well, what's next? What would be best for me to do next?
Natalia, do you have any practice like that? Any sort of regular meditative practice,
Yeah,
or just sort of
yeah, I
inner?
do.
Okay.
I do. I meditate regularly.
And do you ever meditate on
I do
on
all
create?
this stuff.
Say that again.
Yeah, I do. I meditate every morning, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
And
Yeah,
then
I'm just lately it doesn't come up. It's like what's next, and it's like a big, big fog. It's like really like there's no answers about it. Maybe it will. Maybe I need some time. Maybe I need to be patient or something like that.
well, here's the main thing, and this is not going to be easy because I
Hmm.
can hear it in your voice and your style though that you need to change the conversation that you're having with your. You need to ultimately change the conversation that you don't have vision, that you're disconnected, because you're really truly. I understand why you're saying it, and I understand that it feels true, but I also understand that the more you say it, the more it's going to affirm, and you're going to be energetically aligned with being stuck, and that's when that blackness comes up when you try to create a vision. It's just like, no, because my story is I don't have a vision. That my story is I'm
Hmm.
disconnected. My story is I keep getting disinterested when someone roots me on or whatever. So it's the inner conversation that needs to change, and so, but there's a lot that has to happen at the same time. You're going to want to deal with resistance as it comes up, and you're going to want to really start allowing yourself to craft a vision where excitement and enthusiasm is sustained and ongoing. Like what would your vision look like if you were excited about it? Just all sorts of little different ways of approaching creating the vision than the way that you've been doing it.
Hmm.
Because right now you're getting stopped because it sounds like you're just running a program over and over. So what we would do with you is I would want to brainstorm with you about all the things you've ever been interested in or been passionate about, and really continue to see that thread. And then let's look at the situations that have occurred where you feel that wind taken out of your sails or whatever. Let's look for a pattern there and see what we can do about that, because I really feel like you can be freed of this. To me, it feels like you're a creative spirit that wants to come out, but there is a conversation that is slowing you or stopping you, and it probably came from somewhere else, and we can probably find it. Um, Also, just getting feedback from other people in a mastermind group that see ideas and things that you haven't thought of before might be able to excite and inspire you. And then as you move towards those things or exploring those things, the moment you start to feel disinterested or that familiar pattern kicks in, we can all look at it and say, okay, it's that there it happened. What just happened to make that happen? Anyway, we can throw a lot of light on it so that you
Hmm.
can actually get past it.
I
Is
see.
that making sense to you?
Yes, a lot. I actually feel relieved.
Good. Good. Let's go to Jim. Get Jim's feedback.
Okay. Well, as Bob has suggested to me, look into a technique called EFT, and just I don't know if I can get this on camera, but just try this alone. Tap on this area that's like where you'd hit with a karate chop, and say I am connected, and tap and say I have a vision, and
Hmm.
do that for a minute or 2 minutes, or however long you feel is appropriate. And afterwards, see if that helps. See if that helps your subconscious feel connected, feel a vision. Another technique that's been told to me, and which I think is very good, is let's say you open up your bank account information this afternoon, and all of a sudden there is $1,000,000 in your bank account. What would you do? What is your plan for the rest of the day? Just ignore everything else. You suddenly have $1,000,000 in your resources. What's the next thing you'd want to try this moment? And see if that doesn't bring some sort of connection directly into your heart, directly into your mind. That's where I would go. Do a little bit of exploration there and see what comes out.
Yeah, because there's probably a lot of different things that are providing limitation around creating a vision, and I don't know what they are without really talking to you more in depth. but we could probably identify those things, and EFT or releasing is a great strategy no matter what, and that's why we include it in all of our programs. Let me just take this opportunity again to talk about what we've got going here for this particular event and how you can get involved with the Hangout at, at a massive discount and get all sorts of other little things too. So part of the program is not only the 3-hour call, this is like a 3-hour version of what we're doing here, but you also have access to, generally speaking, you have access to either our Wealth Beyond Reason program or our Reinvention Success System to support you through the journey of expanding your vision and moving into it. You learn all about the law of attraction and release techniques and so on. All of these programs are very, very extensive and expensive actually by themselves. The Wealth Beyond Reason program is now, each of these programs is over $1,000 value, but if you get in on the Hangout, one of these programs is included with that, and it's the program of your choice depending on what you really need. But today, in addition to the discount that you can get of $197 off the cost of the Mastermind by typing in the access code, the promo code MASTER. We will also give you access to both those programs. So basically, you're getting over $2,000 worth of the software, the programs themselves, plus the 3 hours of the Mastermind, plus the access to the private Facebook group where the conversation continues ongoing and unlimited. And then also we do a follow-up. You and I have a follow-up session, just you and me talking about your vision, your goals. Where are you? How's the momentum going from the Mastermind? And what more can we do to support you? That type of thing. So that's basically the idea. It's really designed to be a complete system of everything you need to support you. So that initial conversation, those initial contacts, meeting and getting to know everybody else, the alliances that have been formed. I want to share this with you. Let me just go to a page real quick. Actually, I will send you. One moment. I'm actually sending you now. You should. Oops, it didn't work. Oh, because I put in the wrong one. Hold on just one second. I'm going to send you to the page where you can enroll. And it should open up in another window on your browser. And what you can see there is a little bit more about the Mastermind itself. And if you scroll down, which let me share my screen here again. Okay, so just a little bit of comments from people who have done this before. Mitchell Mays was in our first one. I can't begin to tell you how much help I got from your Mastermind Hangout. It felt so absolutely validating to have people from around the globe who are passionate about their ideas and projects giving me personal feedback and input about my passion and my project. And your facilitating and seasoned coaching wisdom put it all in perspective. He's operating emotionally and otherwise from a much higher vantage point and looking forward to more interaction with his new friends. And he is off and running. He has gotten so incredibly busy since this. Bob Wackich is amazing. He was also in that Mastermind, and you can see. I won't read all of these to you verbatim because you're adult human beings and you can read for yourself. But I invite you to see the kind of feedback that people are getting. In particular, Rowena down here, she was one who came in with no real sense of vision, just a lot of stuff, felt very scattered, and we all helped. Through the conversations that we were having, helped her hone in on some things, and now she and Bob are working together on projects. So that's every single time I've done this, the configuration of people there has been this beautiful synergy of, oh my God, that's exactly what I was looking for, or I can help you with that. So those relationships happen right there, and you can see the excitement, and then they get into the Facebook group and they keep going. That is what the Mastermind is all about, is really leveraging the knowledge and the experience and the contribution of others while they are also gaining value from what you have to contribute. No matter what value you think it is.
Perdió el sonido. Chao, mi amor, perdona que... No, estoy dudando de que... ¿Me comieron? Sí, ahora... No, está bien, no traes problemas. No, pero ellos te silenciaron.